Before I start the video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Okay, let's start. Panicked, Saotari orders Katana Man to move Denji before Makima can interfere further. As he does, he suddenly sees a figure moving towards them, Kobeni, clutching a knife. A flashback shows that whilst on duty together, Arai was shot by an elderly gun agent. In his last moments, he threw himself in front of Kobeni, shielding her from being killed. Kobeni asks Saotari and Katana Man whether they are the gun agents. Unnerved, Saotari summons the snake devil's tail to attack her. She swiftly dodges it, before running along its body towards the pair. Before Katana Man can shoot at her, she deftly slices his arm off, grabs the gun and shoots him in the back. She then turns her aim to Saotari. Saotari fires at her, but she uses Denji's reinforced chainsaw head to deflect the bullet. Saotari grabs Katana Man and drags him into their car, driving away. Kobeni looks down at Denji's unconscious torso, and apologizes for trying to kill him in the past. She slowly begins to laugh, growing slowly hysterical as she remembers Arai's dead body. Before deciding that she plans to tell Himino she quits, arriving in Tokyo, Makima is greeted by Madoka. He informs her that almost every human agent in the 1 to 4 divisions were killed. He states that the orders from the top of the organization are that all divisions be merged, and placed under Makima's control. The news causes her to smile calmly. Madoka, anticipating a coming conflict, quits on the spot. As he leaves, he asks Makima how much of the events she anticipated, but she merely responds that she is unable to share classified details with a civilian. Awakening in a hospital bed, Aki turns to see Denji in power at his bedside, reading manga and arguing over apples. Aki asks who of the 4th division survived, with Denji responding that only Kobeni and Madoka made it. Denji and Power then turn to leave, as they were summoned by Makima. However, noting Aki's quiet despondence, Denji leaves him an apple. Now alone in his room, Aki unsheathes the cursed sword, and asks the cursed devil how long he has to live. It responds, 2 years. Aki picks up a cigarette, however remembering Himino, he drops it and breaks down crying. Outside the room, Denji looks through the window, hoping to collect the manga he'd left in there. He begins to walk away, before suddenly realizing that despite his attachment to Himino, her death has not caused him to cry or feel any real sadness. He thinks back to the sadness he felt after Pachita's death, and realizes that neither Power nor Aki's deaths would make him cry. He thinks that even if Makima were to die, though he would be depressed for a short while, he would get over it surprisingly quickly. Troubled by these thoughts, he wonders if giving his heart to a devil truly robbed him of his humanity. Resolving not to think about such depressing topics, he and Power leave to meet with Makima. As they do, Tendo and Kuroz enter Aki's room to instruct him regarding the changes to the 4th division. Meanwhile, Makima explains to Denji and Power that the Bureau believes enemy forces are targeting Denji specifically. As such, they have prepared a training course for the 2 of them. She begins to introduce them to Kishibe, but is interrupted by him. He asks them of their thoughts when their comrades died, to which they state they felt nothing. He then asks of if they desire revenge, which they both rebuff. Lastly, he asks whether they're loyal to humans or devils, to which they both respond whomever will give them the best deal. Kishibe expresses satisfaction with their responses. Kishibe steps forward, and puts his arms around Denji and Power's shoulders, stating their training has started. Makima turns to leave, as Kishibe explains he is a devil hunter working with the Special 1st Division, and asks they call him Master. He then informs the pair that he enjoys booze, women, and killing devils, before he begins to calmly choke the 2 of them, snapping their necks. Kishibe drops Denji and Power to the floor, explaining that their basic body structures are identical to humans. And as such he snapped their necks, paralyzing them. He then gives them blood, explaining that unlike humans, it is all they need to recover from most injuries. Kishibe explains that he is the strongest devil hunter, and as such believes that in order to truly train the 2 of them, they need to reach a point where they can beat him in a confrontation. Denji and Power move towards him, preparing to fight. However, Kishibe swiftly stabs Denji in the head and back, before slitting Power's throat. He comments on their inhuman intuition to try and attack him without a moment of hesitation. He states that since he was a child, he'd always hoped for a toy that wouldn't break, before promising to turn the pair into the baddest of badasses. Meanwhile, in his hospital bed, Aki is surprised to find he is unable to summon Khan. Kuro's remarks that the devil is likely angry for being injured by Katana Man, and as such is likely to never respond to him again. Tendo asks of Aki's lifespan after using the cursed devil, but he interrupts and asks of their intentions. They reveal that due to the worsening of the devil crisis and massive losses of the organization, the Bureau intend to request he makes a deal with a massively powerful devil to help gain an advantage. They then give him the choice to quit and live a more peaceful life, however he refuses, seeking revenge against the gun devil for killing his family, and the gun agents for killing Himino. As Kuros and Tendo leave, an unseen woman enters, surprising Aki. That night, Kishibe decides to stop the training so he can go home and sleep. Denji collapses from exhaustion, as Power gives him some blood to heal him. The pair walk home, bloodied and battered. Power comments on how Denji likely died 20 times. And she was knocked unconscious the same amount. The two consider running away, with Denji noting that fighting without enjoying himself is the worst. Suddenly, Power suggests that rather than using brute force, they try to outsmart Kishibe, causing the pair to grow excited and remark they feel smarter already.